Just do it. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid. You're still going to be afraid, but it'll be worth it. Trust
Greetings. This is an interview with my friend Anthony from Breaking the Barrier. Anthony is a former EF teacher who spent a year teaching in Wuhan. And so we get into why he chose Wuhan, what it was like arriving in China, what he remembers kind of like his first day, his first class being like. And then we talk a little bit about how EF kind of treats their teachers, what that accommodation's like, and the support and stuff like that. So this is a great little piece for anyone considering not working in major cities like Shanghai and Beijing, or anyone considering teaching at EF, because Anthony's got some really good firsthand insights, and I found it super valuable. Hopefully you do too. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for coming on. We did a brief interview that I'll link to about your time at EF and a little interview tip. And for those of you that don't know, Brandon taught at EF in a city called Wuhan. But before we get into that, I want to know, being from Texas all the way to China, do you remember arriving in China and what it was like?
First, it was almost midnight there.
Where did you tell me about the trip from like Texas to Wuhan or to wherever?
Okay, well, I actually flew out of Kentucky because
Okay.
I'm originally from Kentucky.
Okay.
And so, I start off in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
I drove up there, and then they take me to Toronto.
Okay.
So in Toronto, I'm like, this isn't going to be that bad, but just in case, I'm going to get a burger at the airport in case it's the last time I get a good burger.
Fair enough.
And then the big difference is when I arrived in Beijing, like 14 hours later, and just, everything you see immediately, it was completely different. The sun, completely different color because, Beijing, quite polluted.
Yeah, there.
And Wuhan, my first impression, I guess everything in China is just big.
Yeah.
The huge buildings everywhere. It's not like, oh, here's downtown, and then everywhere else is normal sized buildings. It's like everywhere is downtown. Yeah. So, and there's just so much going on. That was the first thing I noticed. I obviously noticed how crowded it was, and then the driving, which I had been warned already how it was going to be. And so just a taxi driver, flying through everywhere, I was like, woo, I was not expecting it.
That's funny. When I came to China and I flew through, and I was going to Guangzhou, but I connected in Beijing, and I had like a layover there, and like trying to make that connection, like it was just crazy. That airport was just, I don't know, like the air, the people, it was just it was overwhelming.
Oh yeah, that's basically the perfect word for it. Overwhelming.
Yeah, nice. Yeah. Now, so anyway, you obviously made it. And you got settled in Wuhan, and I assume did your training, which EF does. What was your first what was your real class like? Like the first day where you're in front of everybody?
Okay, so one thing I didn't expect is part of the training, EF, they do a lot of side activities. So you'll have your normal classes, and then you'll have classes where you cook in the kitchen with them.
Oh, that's
if it's
cool.
a holiday, if they have like say if it's Christmas, then they have special activities where you do Christmas stuff and learn like Christmas songs.
Yeah.
So because they have these every week, and there's a different theme every week during the training process, like after like day 4, they have you do one of those. So I did some training, and then basically as soon as I got there, they're like, oh yeah, in 4 days you're going to do this activity. It's only 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So I was, even though I knew these are going to be like 3-4-year-olds.
Yeah.
I was it was very nervous, and they give me an assistant, and so I constantly felt like she was just judging me because it's my first time teaching, and I was like, she's looking so down on me, and I was like, oh, she thinks I suck. In the end, it was okay. She's like, no, it's fine. She's like, I've seen worse on first days. She gave you advice, and then you learn pretty quickly that it's pretty easy to entertain kids. Like they don't really know what's going on, so you just make weird noises and stuff, and they'll just laugh.
Yeah. I remember showing up to my my first school, and I was like, I was under the impression I was just going to get settled in, and I get there, and they throw me in the classroom. They're like, okay, we got like 30 minutes left in this. We got 30 minutes left before lunch. Like, get in there. And like, and I was there for like, I had like my bags from the airport. Like I hadn't even been to my apartment yet, and they just threw me in there. And I was like, what? And I was a bit put off by it. It ended up working out. Like, I was nervous as
Hmm.
hell, but it worked out. But I think that, I think a lot of people go through something similar just because anything that happens there is going to be just different.
Oh yeah, like some of my coworkers, I got lucky the time I came in.
Yeah.
Some of my coworkers, as soon as they arrived, the next day they're like, "Okay, you're going to teach this class," and they were just thrown into it. They were like, "Wait a minute, what?"
Yeah. Did you before your training with EF? Did you do any training like previous to going to China?
I did just the online certificate.
Okay.
You
Yeah.
probably heard of Bridge.
Yeah, of course.
Bridge. Yeah, that's what I did it with.
Nice. All right. Well, then, so we covered, the first day and kind of all that entails and how overwhelming it was. Tell me about Wuhan. Why Wuhan?
I didn't even know Wuhan exists.
Yeah.
And it's so funny that even the local teachers, the Chinese teachers there, know that no one knows about Wuhan. And so they always ask you, why did you choose our city?
Yeah.
I guess one of the reasons is that was my first uh, offer that I got, and it just happened to be from, Wuhan.
Yeah.
One thing I liked about it, I'm really big into culture and getting away from basically getting off the beaten path.
Okay.
So I think that's where you can really get into really get true experiences, culture
Okay.
experiences.
Perfect. Yeah.
And because Wuhan is, in Beijing, Shanghai, Hong Kong, all the major top tier cities, they're quite modern. You're going to get a lot of English speakers.
Yeah.
And so it can be easy, especially like Shanghai, to somewhat feel like home.
Yeah.
Completely different still, but have a little similarity. Whereas
Yeah.
in Wuhan, everything looks, how do you say this? Everything looks very Chinese.
It was like
Nobody.
yeah, it's like challenging every day, right? It's not
Oh yeah.
comfortable. Yeah.
No, like no one speaks English. Like very rare, and I would go like a week without seeing another foreigner.
Yeah.
Why go in?
Yeah, like Laowai. Yeah, but man, I can attest to that. I've done the big cities things, and it's easy to get like comfortable and be like the places you get Western food or you don't have to speak Chinese. But having traveled a bit through China, it really is those smaller, I don't know, less populated, I don't know how to describe it, less popular places that give you like that real cultural immersion.
Yeah, it's more traditional. Like that's why I saw it. I was like, Wuhan is so traditional.
But it's also huge, right? Like it's not like it's not a town. It's a proper city.
Oh yeah, it's like I think like 12 million people. Like it used to be 3 cities, and then they just combined.
Yeah, what classifies as like tier 2, right?
Yeah. And I'm like, what? That's bigger than New York.
Yeah. Nice. How long did you stay?
I was there for like barely over a year.
Okay.
And then I traveled a little bit after that, but taught a year.
Nice. What would you say to people that were considering like cities like Wuhan or the non-Beijing, non-Shanghai? Would you recommend it?
Oh yeah, definitely. Because like I said, you truly experience Chinese culture.
Yeah.
Like of course, in these other bigger cities you can. It's just that when you go somewhere like Wuhan, it's just going to be
times 10.
You're going to find very few similarities. Yeah, basically times 10. And so I think they need to be definitely understand that, and just to be prepared to like just always be lost in communication because nobody speaks English.
Did you study Chinese?
I tried. I did a little bit, and the bad thing is I really started toward the end, and I was like, why couldn't I have done this in the beginning?
Yeah.
Where it became like a joke between me and the Chinese coworkers, where they would teach me a phrase or a song, and then I would go and like impress someone, and be like, yeah, I'm fluent.
Yeah. Oh, God, I know exactly. Like you say one thing and everyone's like, wow, like their minds explode, and then then they try to like have a fluid conversation. That was the same thing when I was learning. I kind of it's hard. I kind of gave up, but I remember like
that's what
I remember like going to the grocery store and asking for grapes, and they're like, wow, grapes.
Yeah, see, and I don't want to forget, even though I've not learned a whole lot.
Yeah.
I don't want to forget what I have learned.
Yeah.
And so I still talk to a lot of people on WeChat.
Oh, perfect.
And so I'll do the audio.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere, I'll just be like, say something random just so that I'm continuing using it.
That's great. God, WeChat so it's so clutch. I love it.
I wish we. I miss
Right?
WeChat.
It's like the perfect app. It's way better than what used in the States.
Oh yeah.
Man, but that's a conversation for a different time.
Yeah.
Let's get into one more thing here. We talked about Wuhan and talked about EF a bit. A lot of times people ask, what are the living situations going to be like? Every apartment's different, but I want to hear about your apartment in Wuhan. Was it yours? Was it shared? Was it nice? Was it, I don't know, good, bad? Tell me.
Okay, so I have an interesting apartment situation. So I've gone through 2 apartments.
Okay.
The good thing about EF being very big and established is that they have a lot of money, so they throw some money into the apartment. And
Okay.
so they're going to get you a nice apartment. So me and all the other teachers, they put you with one roommate who works at the same school,
Okay.
or they put you alone with an extra room until a new teacher comes in.
Okay.
They are required to have you so many kilometers from a police station,
Yeah.
and it has to be so many kilometers away from the school. That way, if you need to walk,
Yeah.
you can walk pretty quickly.
Is the roommate is it always foreign, or is it like your Chinese co-teachers also?
Oh, it's foreign.
Okay.
So mine was from Florida.
Okay. Cool.
And then I prefer to have my own apartment.
Me
So
too.
what you can do is they would give you money instead.
Yeah.
And the only thing I didn't like about EF is that it didn't kind of equal what they were already giving me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, give me how much this room is so I can get a nicer apartment. So I do think I had to downgrade to the 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
But either way, it was still nice. They help you a lot if you want your own apartment.
Yeah.
Because they have connections with a bunch of landlords because
Yeah. It's consistent business. Yeah.
Yeah, at least every year someone doesn't
Yeah.
re-sign.
Yeah.
And so when I wanted one, she's like, okay, let me call my people. And she's like, we'll find you something.
Yeah.
And so at least they help you. But I mean, they're actually very nice
Okay.
apartments, quite big.
So
furnished.
like a proper kitchen and bathroom and stuff like that.
Yeah. TVs.
Okay.
Pretty much everything. Bills will be paid for.
Oh, nice. They deducted that from your salary though, right?
Yeah. Except electric, you got to pay electric.
Yeah. So no real complaints about EF then.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, I've heard.
No, not really. I mean,
yeah, I was gonna say I've heard a lot of favorable things. They sound like a really kind of standout company to work for. Obviously, every location is different, but on the whole, it's been pretty positive feedback.
oh yeah, definitely. Of course, what I found every school in China, especially whenever it's for profit,
Yeah.
I think is people understand they are going to run into some problems they may not like.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, some of these people are trying to make money.
Yeah.
But for as an introduction to China, I would always recommend EF or another training school to get your foot in the door. And then if you decide you want, non-profit education, EF or another training school helps you get there, then you can go off,
Yeah, it's easy to switch after the contract.
Yeah.
Well, Brandon, thanks so much for the insights. Yeah, all good stuff. Tell us what you're up to now real fast. You're obviously I think you're not in China anymore, right?
Yeah. In Houston right now. After I left China, I traveled Southeast Asia with a drone. I do travel photography, writing, and videos. And so what I'm going to try to, now that I'm back in Houston in America, start my own business where I'm doing drone videos, pictures, for real estate. And I guess if it works, then that's what I'll do. If not, I'll.
Yeah, I'm gonna link to your site and some of your footage. That stuff you did in Vietnam was crazy. It was really good.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, when I was in Thailand, I crashed it.
Oh man, what happened?
Do you know PP Island?
Yeah, because
I was there. I guess either the wind got it caught up. It wasn't that windy.
Yeah.
Maybe it was higher up, and just took it into a tree, and I watched it as it crashed down.
Yeah. Did it ruin it?
I have it back now, but I had to send it off, so it's been gone this whole time. I just got it back a few days ago.
Bummer. All right, man. Well, thanks so much. Anything else? Any parting words? Any words of wisdom for those looking to go to China? Just do it.
Yeah, just do it. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid. You're still going to be afraid, but it'll be worth it. Trust me.
Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss any videos or interviews in the future.